Shanahan Road, it's from US 23 to Hyatt. Candlelight Lane from South Old State to the dead end. Heather Lane from State Route 750 to the cul-de-sac. High Meadows Circle from Slate Run Drive to Slate Run Drive. Inner Meadows Way from High Meadows Circle to Slate Run Drive. Stony Creek Court from Waterford Drive to the cul-de-sac. Foxcroft Drive, address 3437 to address 3481. And Westwood Drive is Gladshire Boulevard to Storington Place. And then there are some special items for $9,900, and that includes some edge striping, some lane lines, etc. One of those would include the lane lines from the full depth repair out here on Eastward Road.
Do we have the original for us to sign?
I have the original for you to sign.
Very good. All right, just checking.
Unless there are any questions.
Okay, well then in that case, if there are no further questions and there's no comments from anyone in the audience, see any, I shall make a motion. I move we accept the estimate of the Delaware County Engineers Office for the 2010 road improvements in Orange Township, the estimate being $212,800.
Second.
Mr. Cassidy?
Yes.
Mr. Katz?
Yes.
Mr. Quigley?
Yes. There's one other item under maintenance. Mr. Quigley signed the estimate. Acceptance of the estimate.
Thank you. I'll put copies of these in.
And finally, the township shared road maintenance responsibilities for Pearl Township. Road meeting. Should Carrie provide an update on that?
The road agreement has been signed by all the trustees. I'll be forwarding that to Berlin. I just held it to the meeting before it actually gets mailed. Is there any questions? That's been finalized as well. As I mentioned before, that's for mowing, snow, snow plowing, and
Okay. That's it?
I just had one other thing that I just wanted to mention, that probably, John, what you were referring to as far as the PO. We're going to contract with the county. Right now, the county has brining capabilities, and they have contracted with Liberty to brine West Orange Road. And so we just thought, let's look at it, experiment, see how it goes. It is just under $28 per application. So we've contracted with the county to do 20 applications. We don't know, knock on wood, we've now broken the record. We don't need any more snow, but you know, that's kind of the experiment to see how it works, and if we're interested in anything like that, to either contract with the county with or move forward with something if we need to. There's pluses and minuses to it, so we just kind of like to experience it a little bit ourselves. So if you see the kind of off-white line that's going down West Orange Road, it'll be from 23 to the Liberty line. That's the brining that the county will be putting in.
Well, you already answered my question, which was why did we only choose to do that one area? So, yeah, it's an experiment.
Yeah, well, and the county is already going down that road, so basically all they have to do is turn on the brining machine. So.
Good, thank you. Okay, that brings us to the park report, and I guess, Miss Yu, you can stay positioned where you are, and Mr. Quigley. So.
Well, item number one is just announcing formally the dates for the Orange Township Park Board. The dates are March 18th, June 16th, September 15th, and December 1st. Are there any questions, concerns? This year? Okay, good. Next item is suburban gas easement. I know many of you are aware that Mr. Katz has worked hard and diligently on this in the past year. This year, when I got involved, I contacted Mr. Pemberton Jr. Sat down with him, had a quick discussion to follow up, to find out what can be done. In that discussion, he told me that, we had agreement to go ahead and see what, or have Mr. McCarthy contact Mr. Pemberton Sr. When that transpired, a letter was sent to Mr. McCarthy and myself with an explanation of where they stand at this point. So at this moment, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Mr. McCarthy to explain further where we stand.
Sure. Previously, Mr. Katz was working on an initiative at the request of Suburban holds an exclusive easement over a portion of the intended trail area, and had indicated that it had concerns as to the impact of allowing the township on the area, what that impact might be concerning their exclusive easement. And they requested at that point, in consideration of the granting of the easement, their consideration of it, that the township assist them with the legal expense that was going to be involved. That was the original discussion. Subsequent to that, the issue was brought forward to them, and the discussion I had with Mr. Pemberton was to the effect that, well, there are really two parts to this. The first being what would be the nature of the interest that might be granted if ultimately it was determined that it would not adversely impact their exclusivity. And then secondly, still the item as to researching the exclusivity issue. Mr. Pemberton asked both issues, requested again that in consideration of their moving forward with this easement, that the board assist them with their legal expenses. And I think that's about where we are right now. Their expenses both as to discussion as to the type of interest that the township would ultimately succeed to, and secondly, the discussion as to whether or not the township and Suburban were going to find themselves in any particular difficulty by virtue of a grant of that sort in this exclusive area. So that's the issue that's before the board tonight.
Are there any questions?
No.
Okay.
No, there are no
So where we're at with this discussion is that for us to proceed, we will have to, if we want to investigate this easement, we would have to pay the cost of the legal expenses to determine whether or not obtaining that easement is probable.
Whether it would harm their interest.
Right, whether it would harm their interest or even if they were allowed to move forward themselves.
Well, and also it has an impact as well on the townships, what threat or issue is there regarding the ultimate interest that would be by the township, which I think is sort of influence the township as well. Less than more so.
And part of the discussion Mr. McCarthy and I had was somewhat in a two-phase approach. The first phase, one, making sure that the township's interests as well as working with Mr. Martin are consistent to what, if the outcome is favorable, that we will be able to move forward with an agreement.
Right.
And then phase two will be doing the further investigation to ensure that it is capable for us to move forward. So with that, the question then becomes, one, do we want to move forward to pay the legal expenses? And two, would we like to provide a cap on that?
My reply would be, my personal, are we
Yes, go
ready
ahead.
to
Go ahead.
deliberate
Go ahead.
issues? Okay. Well, first of all, let me get your recommendation. Let's start with that. I think that's a good place to start. Mr. Park Liaison.
If I could, Mr. Chairman, before
Yes.
we get there,
Yes.
I would just indicate that the work that would be done by the attorney being discussed would be for the benefit of both the township and Suburban. So, I'm done.
Your recommendation.
Well, with this, obviously there's a lot of time has been spent